Hey, Nick Perry was limited, Brian Bauckham limited, TJ Bryant was full, Mikkel Roby was limited, and Simi did not practice. That practice was just okay. Everything's new for our players. You know, even though this is our second game, it's our first normal week. Last week we had prepared early and had a couple extra days, and so it will continue to be a learning process for our players with our new staff. And hopefully we'll continue to improve, just like what we've talked about all week, improving from week 1 to week 2.
What was just okay about it? Why was it just okay?
Nothing really special. Number of drop balls, some missed assignments, had to repeat some plays in service team that we'd like not to on a Thursday. So we'll continue to look at everything, continue to be with our guys and get ready for a very important game.
Are there any changes in the lineup that you can talk about at this point?
No, we're still looking at some things, but nothing offhand that seems to be major.
Are you relieved to play in a conventional team instead of maybe a gimmick team? That's my word.
Yeah, that's your word. I wouldn't call anything a gimmick that put up 588 yards. There is relief to play a team that is more similar to what we practice against all of spring and all of fall. We should be better because of that. Just the opposite of that is Hawaii's defense at times. Teams like that a lot of times struggle versus run games and two-back teams because they don't ever get to practice against it. So, there's definite relief to all of a sudden line up and see plays that we're familiar with and that we practice against in formations as well.
There's another week of the offensive line together. How have they looked this week?
They've done well. We're still trying to push our guys. We needed to develop our depth. We're not very excited about when our backups went in, how well they did not play. We ended up leaving in Matt Khalil, in the center. Chris O'Dowd in the fourth quarter of that game, which we'd like not to, but we need to get more confidence in our backups. They need to play for us.
How was Matt Park this week in practice?
Pretty good. Continues to play well. We'll see if he can do it again. We had a good game last week. But great quarterbacks put together good teams every week, and so this will be a real challenge for him. They've got a great rushing defensive end. 3 technique they can really rush. And if Dowling plays, it's a really special corner, so it should be tougher for him this week.
What's it like having a Nick Perry just back and able to go?
Yeah, I hope he can go, but it's good to have him back and around. He's been doing some stuff this week, and I think whenever he does get healthy, he'll be a really special player for us, and he'll add depth to us as well.
Does Dylan change the rotation by the nature of back that he is?
We'll see with Dylan. Dylan needs to take care of the ball. Saturday night will be the first thing. As a true freshman, that's the first thing that you worry about, being loose with the ball and turning it over. And we'll see what he can do. He'll get some opportunities probably, and we'll see how he's doing out there. That'll probably dictate whether he gets more or not.
Has ball security been an issue for him in practice as a rule?
Not necessarily. That's just really with freshmen in general. They get in that game and they get so excited and they want to start making moves, and all of a sudden they forget about keeping the ball tight. And Division I guys start hitting and the ball starts coming out. Dylan really has not been hit for the most part here since spring, really. So it'll be very critical for him to take care of the ball.
Have you been happy with the way he's gone about his business since he's been back?
Definitely. He seemed to mature. I would like to think that sitting out his first game, especially with all the build-up for it being his first game, National Offensive Player of the Year, coming in and being here all spring, I think that helped. He does seem to be more mature. He seems to be handling his business. He's doing better. He's doing better in school. He's doing better with our academic services. So he needs to continue that.
How about safeties? 2 young guys made their first starts last week. You talk about the whole defense. You'd be shocked if it doesn't play better. How about those 2 guys in particular, Starling?
special players. They fit the mold of what you're looking for. Height, weight, speed. And they made some good plays in that game. Jawanza ran some people down. TJ had a couple hits. I think they're going to be really good players for us once again. It's basically their first major playing time last week in a new system. So we look for them to continue to improve. But I think it's really neat to have two guys that young, that have that much potential.
Coach, talk about your running backs a little bit, specifically Mark Tyler. Good game last week, getting the start again this week.
Yeah, for Mark's come out of his first game without fumbling, leading the conference in rushing, that's a good opener for him, but he's going to need to continue to develop, work on his game. I'd like to see him pop some of those runs. He had one that he almost did in the game, from midfield there on a drive that I believe we ended up getting stopped on. So we look for him to continue to develop, continue to run better. It was basically his first significant playing time as well in his college career. So he's going to need to. The other guys are doing well, and hopefully Dylan will do well as well. So there's going to be some healthy competition there, I hope.
Are you happy with the way you distributed the carries when you look back at the Hawaii game?
It kind of went with the game, really. We got Allen a couple there. Giving Mark a rest and giving Allen a shot, and he came back with CJ later. And then really, we had pulled Mark actually. We had pulled Mark, until the game started getting close again, and we put him back in, and that's when he had the long touchdown run, his first carry back in, and then we pulled him again. So hopefully we'll get in a situation where those other guys, Mark's playing extremely well, and we get a lead and we can play those other guys even more.